One of my favorite players said this week that he kind of doesn't like the idea of ring culture, and he said the NBA wasn't like that when he came in. I can kind of dispute that a little bit because it's been like that since LeBron's been here. But anyways, um, what do you think of Damian Lillard? Kind of, I'm trying to word this right. Kind of looking down on what some consider as ring culture and these players chasing rings and forming quote unquote super teams to achieve the ring. Like, what do you think of Dame kind of looking down on that?
I'm going to go off straight gut reaction to this, and I could be completely wrong. I think he's trying to justify him staying in one place, getting the most money he can, and being comfortable and being one of the best players in the NBA. He's trying to justify that by saying he's not going to get a ring, and that doesn't justify his career. And he is correct. But for a lot of people, that's what you care about. I don't care that my Magic have had a couple good seasons and a couple All-Stars over the years. I don't care about that. Do we have a championship? No, we do not. If I had Damian Lillard on my team, I would be thrilled to have him. I would be thrilled to have the success that Portland has seen over the course of his entire career. I would love all of that. I would be very disappointed if he was on my team to hear him say these things. Because, you sent me a video of some other guys talking about this, and I don't usually agree with Stephen A. on a lot of things, but I agreed with him on this. Even if you don't think that way, you have to come off to your fan base and everybody else like you are, because that's what everybody wants. When we talk about the Jordan era, we also talk about all the guys who didn't get rings because of Jordan. It to me, it goes back way before LeBron. It goes back. This is the whole reason the greats play. Can't tell me that Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Hakeem, all these people didn't come in and was like, I don't care about not winning a championship. Like, I don't believe that. And especially to your fan base and to your franchise, basically to everyone, to come out and say that, I think really sets the wrong tone. And I would not want my star to be saying it. I want my star to say, we're going out there and doing everything we can every night to lead to a championship. Where, LeBron didn't go back to Cleveland just to put up some stats. Even if he had stayed in Cleveland his whole career and never won a championship, it wouldn't have done more than what he did in one season. The stats, the money, all that, it doesn't matter to everybody else. As a personal person, yeah, Dame's going to be like, yeah, give me my money. I like where I live. I'm top 75 of all time. He's done everything he can do, basically, outside of winning a championship. So to me, it makes sense for him in his eyes to set himself up to not be disappointed, right? He's like, I don't want to justify my career on one thing. But to act like it's a ring culture and that there's other things to play for, there is. But make no mistake, there's one thing that trumps everything. There's a reason why LeBron still gets talked about and put underneath Jordan. It's rings. It's nothing else. If you don't like that, that's fine. But just know that you're in the minority. And maybe then you should loosen up the reins on Portland. Maybe you should leave just for the sake of letting that team go, because maybe you have the wrong mindset for that team. That's how I feel. And I love Dame.
Wow, that was.
But I would not want him on my team saying shit like that.
Whew. Kevin, what do you think about Dame's comments?
I just pulled it up as it's a cop out for him to go, look, when it comes time for the Hall of Fame and all that stuff, look, I stayed in one spot my whole entire career. We didn't win anything, but look at all this stuff that I did. If you wanted to win a championship, he could have already been gone and put on one of these super teams. Now, how many teams tried to trade for him and they never would let him go, and they've stuck him in Portland the whole entire time? He could have joined one of these super teams and won him a title. He's just using this as an excuse to, one, look what I did. I stayed at this team during an era in which all these other people were going and forming these super teams. and I should get my cookies for being the only guy on this team to be here and stay. But you don't come out and say, well, championships isn't my main priority, and it isn't how we all should be judged. That's just a cop out to saying, look, I didn't go to none of these teams. Same with Bradley Beal. You can almost put Bradley Beal in that same situation. These two guys are the main looking things of, we wanted to get paid. We got paid by the places we're at. We're more comfortable with making the money than we are on winning championships. The only difference is Bradley Beal hasn't come out and said it, because we know he ain't winning the championship in Washington. we know that ain't happening. So and Dame come close a few times in the playoffs to making it there and everything, but you do not want your superstar face of the franchise player to come out and go, well, it's not about championships. No. Sorry, dude. In any sport that anyone plays, unless you're just money hungry and you do not care, it is legit about winning championships.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Real quick, I want to add on, because too, it bothered me was he was like, well, we play out there for the competition, for the love of the game, to do this and that. No, you stayed in your city to get paid. Mm-hmm. There's no other reason. If they can't pay you more, if you're not making you're making more money career-wise than LeBron James, same as Bradley Beal, you're not staying for any other reason than money. Like, in my opinion, you might love the city, but if they couldn't pay you that much, I think we're having a different conversation. So don't tell me it's about love of the game and it's about competition and all these things when you're in the one spot that can pay you the most money. Because talk to me about the money then too. Be honest about everything, because it's definitely a big factor. If it's not championship, it's money.
Because if you wanted to win, you would have said, "Hey, trade me somewhere where I can go and win." He didn't want that. He didn't want that responsibility that if he got traded somewhere and they didn't win a championship whenever he got there, then they would look at him and go, "Oh, well, Dame's not the guy that we thought he was." That's it. So he got comfortable. He's getting paid, which I don't blame him at all, because the main goal of everything in professional sports is you get paid. But he didn't want that. He did not want the responsibility that if he got, because how many times was he on the trading block, and how many times were the rumors where he's going to get traded everywhere? He did not want that responsibility of getting traded. Hell, they traded C.J. McCollum before they traded him. He didn't want that responsibility of going somewhere else and that other team failing. He wanted to be comfortable, be where he's at, and fell with Portland, but fell getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
To play devil's advocate for just a brief second, because I do have to give King James some credit. The NBA has designed a system, of course, where the home team does have the advantage as far as paying their drafted players more. That's the way the NBA wanted it, to kind of control player movement. So when you have players like LeBron James who says, well, I'll take a pay cut and go somewhere else because I'm not going to be locked here. I'm trying to win. I don't think the NBA necessarily likes that, but it shows some of the sacrifice that players like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and to a certain extent Dwayne Wade, who all have taken pay cuts to win championships, it shows the sacrifice that they make to do that. So I understand the sentiment of, Dame wanting to be there and benefiting from just taking advantage of the system that's in play. Hey, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to get paid more. I understand it. But then you also look at the sacrifice that some of the other guys have made who are champions, who actually didn't. It wasn't like that back in the day, by the way. But players wasn't paid as much, nowhere near as much as what they've been paid now. But I do get where Dame is coming from taking advantage of the system. But as Bryce and Kevin both said, he shouldn't have verbalized. He shouldn't have verbalized it, because at this point, I can't even watch him and take him serious anymore. I don't even think I'm going to watch Portland again, to be honest with you, because it's just like, what the fuck? He's just going to go out there, get his points, he may get hurt, and that's it. But I can't take Portland serious as a franchise as long as he's still there now, because he's in the second half of his career, by the way. So he's probably going to be on cruise control for the next 2 or 3 years. But I can't take them serious.
You should just join the Globetrotters.
He's on
What's
the
up?
back end, as we
Yeah,
like to say.
yeah.
But
It's winding down.
but you said, like, when LeBron and all them were switching teams and doing all this to go and win championships and stuff, we always forget LeBron's getting paid by Nike more than he's getting paid by the NBA. So the big contracts in the NBA and stuff where they're good, a lot of these guys are making more money doing all the other crap that they do than they are in the NBA. And even Dame's getting paid by Adidas, and then he can go out and rap. He's more concerned about his rap career than he is winning a championship.
Yeah, well, we'll see how much longer Dame Dollar's going to be dropping dimes, right? All right.
Not much
Moving
longer.
right along.